Dear students, in this video you are going to learn about position time graph and velocity time graph. So how we are going to represent position time graph for uniformly accelerated body. That is nothing but a body moving with positive acceleration. So whenever you want to represent a body moving with positive acceleration for position time graph, it will be like this. It represents that the body starts from a different position with respect to the horizon. That means for the body, horizon is not the position. It started from a different position where the time t equal to 0 at that particular position and it is accelerating uniformly. So this is how you're going to represent for position time graph. Now, to represent a uniformly decelerated or negative acceleration for a body, the position time graph will be like this. Now, if you want to represent uniform motion, that is nothing but zero acceleration. For position time, to represent zero acceleration or uniform motion means the velocity will remain constant. So the graph will be a linear graph, a straight line from a different point. That means it starts from a different particular position, but it is moving with uniform velocity. Velocity time graph for uniformly accelerated or a decelerated motion. Now how can we represent the same for velocity time graph? Now this is how you are going to represent for a body moving with uniform acceleration, that is positive acceleration in positive direction. Now you can see here, this is the initial velocity of the body, which is v0, or we can represent with respect to u. It starts from u and it is going to increase with respect to time. So the final velocity is v. The slope of this graph will represent the acceleration. Remember, always whenever you want to determine the acceleration in velocity time graph, we have to find the slope. If you find the area under the given curve, it represents a displacement. This is for velocity time graph. Always remember these 2 points. To represent displacement, we have to find the area under the curve for velocity time graph, and to find the acceleration, we have to determine the slope for velocity time graph. Now, this is the velocity time graph for uniformly decelerated body. That is nothing but motion in positive direction with negative acceleration. The body is moving with positive direction alone, but with negative acceleration because it is a first quadrant. Now the velocity is decreasing with respect to time. So it is moving in positive direction but with negative acceleration. This is the velocity time graph for a body moving in negative direction with negative acceleration. So motion in negative direction with negative acceleration, because we are drawing the graph in 4th quadrant. In 4th quadrant, the acceleration is negative. Moreover, it is moving in negative direction alone because it is belonging to negative y-axis. That is negative velocity. But time is positive here. Now this is the graph representing for a body moving with negative acceleration between 0 to t1 in positive x-axis and between t1 to t2 in negative x-axis. So totally the acceleration is negative, but here between 0 to t1 it is in positive x-axis and between t1 to t2 it is in negative x-axis. Kinematic equations of uniformly accelerated motion. So we have 3 equations of motion which are used to represent the motion of the body or to study the motion of a body. Now in 3 ways we are going to derive the equations of motion for a body moving with uniform acceleration. 1, by using formula method. 2, by using graphical representation. 3, by using integration technique. First I am going to discuss about formula technique. So let us consider a straight line path where the body is moving with uniform acceleration. Its initial velocity is u and final velocity is v, where a is the acceleration of the body. Suppose it traveled a distance of x in a time interval of t seconds. Consider a body moving with initial velocity v0 or u accelerated at a uniform rate a. Let v be the final velocity after time t and x be the displacement. We can also represent with s also. First equation of motion. So what is first equation of motion? V equal to u plus at is the first equation of motion. My aim is to derive the first equation of motion. How can I derive the first equation? To derive the first equation of motion, I am going to take the definition of acceleration. So what is the definition of acceleration? Change in velocity by time taken. How you determine the change in velocity? Final velocity minus initial velocity by time taken. So what is the final velocity here? V is the final velocity. What is the initial velocity? U is the initial velocity by t is the time taken. So A equal to V minus U by T. Cross multiply. You are going to have AT is equal to V minus U. And if you rearrange, V equal to U plus AT. So this is how we are going to derive the first equation of motion by using acceleration definition. The equation V equal to U plus AT is known as the first equation of motion, and it is also called as linear equation. Second equation of motion. What is second equation of motion? S equal to ut plus half at square is the second equation of motion. To derive this equation, not only second equation, but for also third equation, we are going to use average velocity. Now here, in the previous slide, we have seen that how many velocities the body is having? Two velocities we have. One is initial velocity u, another one is final velocity v. Whenever the body is moving with uniform acceleration, if you want to determine the average velocity, we have learned that we have to find the mean of the two velocities. That is nothing but sum of velocities by number of velocities. So average velocity is nothing but what? Initial velocity plus final velocity by 2, which is nothing but u plus v by 2. So distance traveled is nothing but what? Average velocity into time. Total distance is nothing but average velocity into time. So what is average velocity here? U plus v by 2 is the average velocity, and t is the time taken. So therefore, x equal to u plus v by 2 into t. This is first equation. From the first equation of motion, now in order to get the second equation, now what is my second equation of motion? S equal to ut plus half at square. In that expression, there is no final velocity. Now, by using first equation to derive the second equation of motion, I have to eliminate final velocity. How can I eliminate final velocity? By using first equation of motion. What is my first equation? V equal to u plus at. So substituting v in equation 1, we have x equal to u plus at by 2 into t. What is u plus at by 2 into t? 2u plus at by 2 into t. If you multiply, you are going to have 2ut plus at square by 2. Now, a plus b by 2 means how can we write? A by 2 plus b by 2. Or simply we can have x equal to ut plus half at square. This is your second equation of motion. Now, by using the first equation alone, if I want to derive the third equation of motion, I have to eliminate what? What is my third equation? V square minus u square equal to 2as. Now if you see, there is no time in that. Now in order to derive the third equation by using equation 1, I should eliminate time. Again I have to use the first equation alone. So from the first equation of motion we have v minus u equal to at, nothing but t equal to v minus u by a. Now we know that v average equal to u plus v by 2, or u plus v equal to 2 into v average, or v plus u equal to 2 into v average. This is equation 2. Now you can multiply equation 1 and equation 2. V square minus u square equal to 2 into a into t into v average, or v square minus u square is equal to 2 into a into x, because average velocity into time is nothing but what? Displacement, that is x. So 2ax. Like this we can derive the third equation of motion. So our v square equal to u square plus 2ax. So this is known as third equation of motion. So this is how we are going to derive the first three equations of motion by using formula method or definition method. Now, we will discuss about the graphical representation and integration technique in the next class.